Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to LoveBabz, LoveTalk. My music sounds terrible. I'm sorry we're getting started so late. I don't know what is happening. This is not the way I like to start a Monday. So it is good to be here. Thank you all for tuning in as late as it is. And I've got to fix this music because it has been sounding awful for the last, I don't know, while. So I have to figure out what's happening. So I hope everybody had a good weekend. I know I did. The weather was fantabulous-tastic. I couldn't help but be in these streets. The weather was so beautiful. And you know how I like to get started? I think there might be word on the street at 9:30. I think. I don't quite know that schedule, but I know Paul is out there scouring these streets for a slice of New Haven, the New Haven citizens, and so he could run up on and ask about the word of the day. So I'm waiting just like you all are with bated breath to see uh who shows up this morning. And it's funny because after we do these things, I run into these same people on the street. I'm not kidding you. After every time we do a word on the street, I run into the people. I ran into the guy from the last time about the truck. He walked past Possible Futures bookstore in the outfit that he had on earlier that morning, and I saw him, waved. I don't think he knew who I was, though. I think he just was like, why is this random black woman waving at me? You know, but I saw him, so and I always see people. So let me shout out folks. Uh uh well, let me get into my weekend. Let me tell you what the weekend was like, because I think that's a better. So Friday, um, Thursday, because I wasn't here since last week. So Thursday, I went to the Yale Divinity Open House, Yale Divinity School Open House, because I'm considering applying again. You know, I applied way before the pandemic and I didn't get in, and apparently people were like, "How come Babs didn't get in?" You know, when I applied, I didn't say anything to anybody. No one knew that I was applying, nothing. I just kind of showed up and applied, and I was a little bit unfocused. I was clear about I knew I wanted to apply, but for me, the greatest gift was applying. But this time I have a better sense of I've learned a few things about what I could do over at the Yale Divinity School. And let me tell you, I was over there Thursday, and you know I love being over there. I love going to Marquand Chapel. I mean, I'm just happy when I'm over there. I'm just happy when I'm walking those hallowed halls. So anyway, I found out about the Institute of Sacred Music, Art and Religion, which I don't know if I think I wasn't supposed to get in the first time because I was supposed to be here this time so that I could hear about the Institute of Sacred Music. Now, the Institute of Sacred Music is not just for musicians, but you can learn an instrument while you are a student. That's neither here nor there at this moment. But they have art and religion. I'm talking sacred poetry and literature. Oh my God, my heart. I just thought I sat at the table with them and I didn't want to leave. I just immersed myself in the whole Institute of Sacred Music at YDS. So that's where I'm going to apply. Honestly, that's where I'm going to apply. So I did that Thursday. I met some incredible people. I tell you, when you go to open house, you just meet people. I mean, people from all over the world came to this, right? And I was like, y'all couldn't Skype in, but they wanted to be on campus like everybody else, you know, because for the last 3 years, um, everything was virtual. I didn't even bother with the virtual YDS stuff because I was just like had other things on my mind. But this is the first one post-pandemic, post-lockdown. I don't want to say post-pandemic, post-pandemic lockdown. And so I was over there. It was great. I mean, I just love it over there. I saw Allison Cunningham. I saw Hoppy, who is the dean of student affairs or financial aid or whatever it is. I mean, I know people over there. It was great. I mean, I saw Rosalind, my church family. I saw, oh gosh, I saw so many people who I went to church with. It was so good to see them. I mean, my heart was I just felt like I was home. That's the only thing I could say about it. So anyway, I'm gonna apply. So I gotta get on the ball with that. So I did that Thursday. Thursday night, I ran up to Hartford, spent the night so that I could be ready for the symposium. I was at the Art and Justice Impact Symposium at Trinity College. I've never been on Trinity College's campus, so it was a real treat. It's like being at Yale. You know, it's got that same old school Hallowed Halls, Hogwarts kind of vibe. You know, students everywhere, here, there, and yonder. But the symposium itself was incredible. It started at 8 o'clock in the morning, which was hella early, and it ran until 5 o'clock, 5:45, and then we had dinner, and then I got on the road about 7:30, and got home about 8:30. But it was an incredible day of talking about how art can be the solution, can be one of the pathways to solutions to hypermass incarceration, to solving that, or to making a dent in it. And there was a couple of panels, there was a couple of experiential workshops. I mean, it was just a fun. And then there was a performance by the Judy Dworin Justice Project folks, and it was just one of those things. If you wasn't in that space, I don't know how to tell you if you weren't in that space, because unlike a lot of symposiums, I mean, this was just it was just folks sharing, and just world class folks on panels talking about art and what art has meant to them, what art can be. I mean, I just was moved. So that was all day Friday, and I was so moved and so glad to have been in that space. Really, 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 I was so glad to have been in that space. And then, so that was Friday. I got home Friday night, took my butt to bed because I was tired. Woo! And then Saturday, uh, I did the Schubert, uh, New Haven's finest. It was a showcase for New Haven artists, mostly young, I mean, all young people, New Haven's artists. And it was mesmerizing. It was dazzling. And that theater should have been filled, filled, filled. I know everybody bought a lot of tickets and people didn't get there. But it was just one performance after another was just amazing. And I was so honored to be the MC for that. I mean, it was just incredible, the talent that sits in this city. And thank you to Anthony McDonald and to Azaria, who worked like a dog to get all this stuff together. It was incredible. And I hope that they continue to build on this, because as word gets around, and it will get around, baby, that the Schubert Theater is opening up this space for community artists to step on a world-class stage. Hear me now, New Haven artists to step on a world-class stage and not have to like book the theater, because the booking the theater is out of reach for everybody who ain't got no funders or backers or money, or don't have a big production. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to have a big production to book the Schubert. And that's fine. That rightly so. I'm not suggesting that they change any of that, because it's a world class stage, and it's a world class stage for world class productions. So it is up to the Schubert to open up their doors to say, this is what we're going to do, and they did. So performance after performance, young people from ECA, from Hopkins, from Co-op, it was stunning. I mean, it was just stunning. And I was so happy to be the host. I really was. It was good. I enjoyed everything that I saw. I loved every performance, every monologue, even the rock band at the end, the Robot Monster. I mean, they were badass. I was up there. I was like, all right, y'all, we about to go to Toad's. This Schubert about to become Toad's place. And those kids rocked it. I mean, they rocked. I was just all in my groove. So I hope that they continue to build on that, because these require small steps. You just have to begin. You just have to begin, and then build, 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 build. Oh, word gonna get around. Trust and believe. Word's gonna get around. And the fact that these kids will have they'll put it on their resume. I performed on the Schubert stage as part of this showcase. and have pictures taken of them. I'm sure there'll be a story up on the New Haven Independent. And I'm sure there'll be something from uh, the arts paper. I'm sure. So, and it'll be great. And these kids will be showcased. I was just impressed. I was just so impressed. And then after that, if that wasn't enough, baby, there was artists, visual artists, artwork hung up in the Schubert lobby. So you just got all the art. You got all the mediums of art. The only thing that was not present was dance. That's the only thing that was missing. Dance. Dance was missing. I have to make a note to myself, to Anthony and Zaria. Make sure you find some daggone dancers. You need some dance folks, because that is part of the performing arts too. As a matter of fact, I am convening. I'm working with some dancers to convene a larger dance conversation for the arts, because I think dancers don't get the kind of money that other performing arts get. And I just found this out, and I just feel some kind of way. So in my capacity as chair of the Arts Council, I'm going to convene some dancers and figure out how we could leverage, how we can bring them up to speed with all the other performing arts. But that's a horse of another color at the moment. So yeah, so I saw the artwork at the Schubert, and then Anthony, not Anthony McDonald, the other Anthony Lupinacci, walked me through the courtyard, because I had to get to the Omni for the fabulous New Haven, Connecticut Lynx Gala. Let me tell you something. Those daggone Lynx sisters know how to do the damn thing. Every time I go to one of their events, I'm always mesmerized by the level of glamour that they afford their events. I know of no other organizations that rock that kind of glamour. None. And I go to a lot of stuff, let me tell you. I go to a lot of stuff. But that Lynx Gala Saturday night, those women and men, but women, when I say folks, I mean the women, showed up. You would have thought it was Hollywood premiere night. People showed up looking glamorous. Listen, if Winter Carson didn't make $1 million this Saturday for the makeup, I don't know. I don't know why she didn't. If she didn't make $1 million, because she did everybody's face. And listen, she does not have a style. You know what? She doesn't have a style that you're like, oh, I know Winter did your face. You know Winter did your face because Winter makes you look like yourself. She doesn't make you look like somebody else. She just enhances your already natural beauty with her magic. She does. And every time I saw, I ran into a couple of sisters I know when I was coming to get my makeup done, and they were in there getting their makeup done. Everybody was passing each other because she had a full roster for the day. God knows she squeezed me in. I was so grateful. Let me tell you something. That daggone New Haven, Connecticut Lynx, baby, I would go to any of their events. So Michelle Turner posted up when we went to the Lynx Gala in I don't know where we were, somewhere. They had and they were honoring Anoni Nika Rose. And I've forgotten that was a Lynx event, because I almost put on the same gown that I wore to that event. I almost put on the same gown, thank God. And the only reason why I didn't put on the same gown, because I wasn't thinking, is because I had to MC the Schubert, and a gown would have been just way too much to put on. It would have just been too much for the Schubert event, and I didn't have any place to change. I mean, I could have changed it to Schubert, but I didn't want to drag stuff around, right? I just didn't want to do that. So anyway, so I wore my sequence duster, which is, it's a long dress, but it's buttons up the front. But I had on a black long a long slip with long pants, and then I threw the duster over it and then buttoned it up, button it down halfway. So I just look sparkly. Whatever. And so this year's honoree was Michael Jai White, who I got a chance to talk to, and who I think I know now. And I met his wife, who is beautiful. Oh, she is a beautiful woman, and equally talented, hugely talented people. So I snapped up a picture with him. So he got honored. It was really nice. Tony Harp looks amazing. I'm telling you, Out of Office does her wonders. It does wonders. She is the president of the New Haven, Connecticut chapter of the Links, and she just looks. I mean, listen. Being out of office works for her. She looked beautiful. Her hair is long. She had a gorgeous gown. I mean, she just looked stunning. It's like, girl, ladies, for these politicians, you look amazing. You look amazing. So that was fun. That was a lot of fun. It was fun. I had such a good time. I had such a good time. And then wait, oh, and then the night gets better. So I don't stay at the Lynx Gala the whole time. I missed the electric slide, but I saw it on Facebook. Um, so I dipped out right after Michael Jai White gave his remarks. I dipped out and ran back across the lot, the Taft courtyard, back over to get my car, and then I pulled up to the Cannon. And Cannon, is a vegan vegetarian bar restaurant. And Dulio was spinning records, so I wanted to end my night doing that. So I ran over there, parked my car, ran over there. Sits right there on the corner of Dwight and Chapel. I went in there and I saw folks that I know. So, hey, Anthony, shout out to Anthony from Martha's Vineyard. Now, Anthony grew up with my brothers, because I'm a bit older than him. He grew up with my brothers in Church Street South. And so he, for the last 20 some odd years, has been living in Martha's Vineyard. And so he's like over Martha's Vineyard. He's been there 27 years. He had businesses, a house, the whole nine, wife, kids, everything. So I think he's newly divorced or recently divorced. They sold the house for a lot of money, and he has a house in Middletown, and uh, and so he's back here, uh, and he's back here, and keep trying, Hat Paul, keep trying. So he's back here. So he's thinking about what he wanted to do to be back here in Connecticut. So anyway, I saw him last night because the last time I saw him, it was on Martha's Vineyard this summer, and he was telling me, he's getting off the island. For me, I can't imagine that because I love Martha's Vineyard so much. But he's been there 27 years. He's young, and he's like, you know what? I'm ready to do something else. I'm ready to be somewhere else. I get it. I don't get it, but I get it. So high five, Anthony, and thank you for buying me a drink. And he's like my brother. He really is. He grew up with my brothers. He's a kid with my brothers, and so it's lovely. I saw Nikki White, who used to live next door to us, grown up with children and a family of her own. Oh my God, I would not have known her. I would not have known her if she didn't come up to me and was like, "Hey." I was so glad to see her. She just looked so beautiful. And listen, she put on a little weight, but like Nikki was like model thin, like super model thin, skinny, right? She was that girl. So the weight that she put on just filled her out a little, just gave her some curve. That's all it did. She's not fat by any stretch of any imagination or definition. She just filled out a little bit, you know. She's still lean, let me tell you. But she looks beautiful. So it was really nice to see her at Cannon. I'll tell you, Cannon was a hot place. So high five, Tessa. It was just good. I enjoyed myself so much. And Dulio spinning music is good. So I think he's going to be spinning records, like actual vinyl, I think in the next weekend or whatever. I'll be in there for that too because I love when people spin records. You know, I like that. But the music was hot. It was pumping. It was pumping, baby. So yeah, so I was there, and the kitchen closes at 10 o'clock. So I got in there just in time to order vegan quesadillas and vegan cheese fries, and a Jack Abbey on tap. Jack Abbey beer on tap, which is becoming one of my favorite beers. So I enjoyed that very much. So that was my Saturday night, and then Sunday. I made my way over to Possible Futures because they're open on Sundays from like 12 to 5. So I went over there and wanted to do some of my homework, coursework. So I did that, and I was just like, all right. All right, I'm gonna do that. And hung out over there because Lauren texted me. She said Stacy um, gifted me a bottle of my favorite champagne. And I was so moved by that level of generosity because that's, the champagne I like is not cheap. It's not a cheap bottle of champagne. I like the Clicquot. I do. I mean, it's my favorite. I still have one bottle left that Ruby Melton gave me, a half a case of Clicquot for my birthday. And I hate to say this, but I damn sure didn't share none of it with nobody. Sorry. I'll share all kinds of champagne with people, but just not my favorite champagne. I know that's my own human flaw. So yeah, Ruby, I still got one bottle left. I should have I should have opened it for celebrating. I registered for the LSAT for June 2023. So I'm going to sit for the LSAT because you know what? If I did not, because everything that we're doing in this Yale Access to Law School program is getting us ready to sit for the LSAT in June, and I just was like, I got to stay motivated and in this thing, and so to do it, and I had already gotten my waivers, like I got all the waivers, so that means I don't have to come out my pocket. So I got the waivers, and so I said, well, let me go ahead and register because now the next thing I have to work on is the accommodations. This program has been amazing to learn all the ins and outs of how to take this test has been invaluable. I would never be able to pay for an LSAT prep class of this at this level. It would be like $8,000. Swear to God, because I looked, I tried to look at comparable stuff. I was like, I can't do none of this. I listen. There's no shame in my game. I would never be able to afford it. Just hands down, can't do it. So, so to be able to be in this program and to do all this amazing, uh, to be this intimate with this level of of, of training is just incredible. And I recognize the gift, baby. I'm not one of these people that take for granted any gift because I don't. So it's been amazing. But anyway, so we were at Possible Futures yesterday, and so the champagne wasn't chilled, so I just took it home. It's in my fridge now. So now I got two bottles of Clicquot, which I'm very glad. Now I got things to celebrate, and I don't really need anything to. I don't need a celebration to drink the Clicquot. I could drink it right now. And that's the point. That's the point I want to get across to people. Like I'm not waiting for a celebration. I could just drink it right now with my coffee. so, so yeah. And then Lauren and I had dinner at Rawa last night. It was a really good conversation. Just friends kicking it. We just kicking it over dinner. It was really nice. It felt really good to sort of just hang out with her and spend some time with her and just be about it. So yes, my good friend and sister Ife is a permanent substitute over at Hill House. God bless America. Mm. Mm. So she over there doing it. She ain't playing around. She is not playing around. Okay. So Paul is out there trying to hustle up people for word on the street. People are not in the mood to stop and talk today. Come on, Paul, keep trying. I believe in you, Paul. I, I believe in you. I think you can do it. I do. I do. I believe in you. I believe in you. So, so that, my friends, was the weekend in review. Tomorrow is election, and don't forget, there's a damn question on the ballot. So, and shout out to Gary Winfield and my alderman Devin. I saw y'all walking in Ward 20. I saw y'all. So, Just Gary. If he'll even have anybody running against him. Is there anybody? I don't think he got anybody running against him. I don't think so. I don't think so. Now, maybe there is. I don't know who it is. I don't think so, though. I don't think so. I think my favorite race right now is the probate judge race. First, when I first saw the conversation with them on Paul's show, I was like, this is how you conduct yourself in a debate and how you work with how you have respect for folks. And then I find out that they beefing. So I'm like, wait a minute. I already made my choice. I already made my choice for probate judge. I think I'm going with Americo. Is that his name? Americo. I just like his vibe. I like his style. I just like his style. I'm going with that. I'm going with that. I'm going with that. So, yeah. And I'm gonna go with that. I tell you what, I am so let me jump to the national politics. I cannot for the life of me understand how Herschel Walker is in a dead heat with Reverend Warner. That is the crazy, 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 crazy thing. And let me tell you why. I want these people, I don't care how white people vote. I don't spend no time with white folks and their voting habits. What bothers me is that black folks is going to vote for this fool because they think that their issues are aligned with him. And that's the thing that drives me crazy, tazy. I don't understand that level of thinking. But you know what? And I know black people are not monolithic. I know this to my core. I'm just saying, for once, could we be monolithic? I don't understand how anybody could listen to Herschel Walker and think, I'm going to vote for him. Oh, I don't understand it. I do not understand it. I don't. First of all, I don't understand how anybody could vote for any Republican, white, black, green, otherwise. I don't understand that foolishness because they have not done a damn thing but be obstructive. They've not been anything but obstructive. They're not going to do any. When have you ever known Republicans to care about humans, period? They are not going to care about you humans. You think that do you think that your values align with theirs? You are sadly mistaken. And y'all are in for a rude awakening. But you know what? This is where I'm at in my life. And this is what 59 will do for you, I think, at almost 60. Let the chips fall where they may. If people think that this is the route that they want Americans to go, then damn it, we go down that road. We just go down that road and just suffer and pay the price. That's it. That's it. That's it. I don't know what else to say about this foolishness. I don't know what else to say. I don't. The fact that Herschel Walker is on somebody's ballot and they're pouring millions of dollars. And I know why the Republicans is doing it. I know why these white folks is doing it. Because they need a step and fetch it. They need that. They like that. That's how they think we are. They need a step and fetch it. No shade to step and fetch it because you got to do what you got to do in the times that you're in. But these are not those times. So I don't understand why he's toting Republican piss. I don't get it. And they don't care. They don't care if he got 50 million kids out there because that's how they think. That's who they believe we are. We never gonna get a better. He is representative of who they think we are. Honest to God. You know, he's a mumble-headed, jumble-headed cat, and they think that's who we are. So that he gonna do what they say do. He gonna do what they say do. I just don't get it. Mm. And I guess Donald Trump is gonna make an announcement he's gonna run again. Let me tell you something. I know what I know. I listen. I know Donald Trump's game. He don't want to be president again. Mm-mm. He just want to. He just want to bend over that Republican Party. He likes the welding of power because ain't no articles been filed, no papers been filed to run, to announce. He is talking, and as long as he gets to threat that, they're gonna acquiesce to it. And if he gets that crazy woman from California, Arizona, to be his running mate, and I think she's worse than him. She's a worse candidate. She's dangerous, like hella dangerous. And if he runs, he's not gonna run, but he's gonna announce. And if he picks her, well, I listen. I'm telling you, hey daughter, bye daughter. uh, if he's not gonna want to be president again. I just don't believe it. But I think he likes the wielding of power over these fools, and they're not gonna make a move unless he gives them the okay to make a move. Now, Ron DeSantis is a loose cannon because he wants that gig too. And right now, I guess they're at odds. I like to see Republicans fight with each other. They cancel each other out. Let them all fight. Grease them all up and throw them in the pen. What did Tina Turner say in Mad Max? 2 men in, 1 man leaves. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. In this case, 2 men enter, 2 men don't leave. Let them fight to the death. Listen, oil them up, throw them all in the pen, let them get it in. I think there's a bunch of folks on the Republican team that want to run for president, but Donald Trump is standing in their way because he's gonna show them. Listen, I got the people and the power and the votes. Yeah, so you gonna acquiesce to what I say. I think that's very real. I don't think he wants to be president. I think he's just gonna lord over them, you know, wield some power over them to you know, yeah. Too much, too much, too much, too much, too much, too much. Yeah. Mm. So that's my take on this. And I got some friends who are down in Georgia, and I posted this morning on my Facebook page. I just can't wrap my brain around the fact that Herschel Walker has a good chance of winning in Georgia. I just can't believe it. I just can't. And my Georgia friends are weighing in. Stacy Risco, she's like, it's the fact that folks are not getting out to vote. She did some phone banking, and she said, you wouldn't believe the comments on the reason why they're not voting. So she's like, I'm sick. It shouldn't be this close at all. And she's right. She's right. She's right. Yes. So I don't and you're right, Allah, we are in a wild time, baby. We are in a wild time. So I don't know if everybody got the news about what's going on at the Pride Center. And my heart stands with Patrick, and I hope he's all right, and I hope it'll be all right. The fact that they haven't filed their taxes, their taxes since 2017. I'm not going to put that on the executive director solely. I'm going to put that on that whole board, because how can you have a board? What board would allow for that? I just don't know. So if there's any blame to be put, I'd start there. And that whole board ought to resign. That whole board ought to, everybody on that board. And I know people and I'm friends with people on that board. Y'all ought to be ashamed and you ought to get the hell off that board. Like they should just disband that board ASAP. You know, that board has no right to be leading any organization. Because from what I read so far, if if you have a board so that you can have some kind of checks and balances, and as somebody who knows something about um, 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 misappropriation of funds, and I'm not suggesting that about this situation. I'm just saying that you have to have a board that is diligent about asking the questions and doing all the things. So we shall see. But I just tell you, Patrick is my friend, and I stand with him, and ain't nothing he could do that's gonna cause me to not be his friend. That's just it. That's just it. And people could say whatever the hell they want, do whatever they want. I know where my loyalties lie with the people who I care deeply about. And so at the end of the day, for me, I stand with my friend Patrick, and y'all can tell that. And I want you to know that's where I'm at. I don't care. I don't care what has happened, and as long as he ain't killed none of my kids or anybody else's kids without cause, I'm gonna stand with him. So he is in my heart and in my prayers, and I know it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. So I know Paul Bass is out there looking for word on the street. You know, I honestly think, Paul, you're gonna have to be a little cuter out there when you're running up on people. Don't be running up on people like you're gonna ask them for $1. You know how people do when they think you're trying to hustle them for something. You know, you're just trying to hustle them for conversation. Yo, 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 yo. Can we get a few minutes of your time? Listen, listen, listen. We do this little thing called word on the street. You got a few minutes? What's the word on the street? And the word on the street simply is, what's going on in your life today? Like what you got going on today that you want to share with us? And people are moving and shaking. So I don't know. Is he going to do word on the street for the election? Now that would be cool. Now, as far as I know, we are doing election coverage tomorrow night. We are going to be live. You know who we are. Me, Markeisha, Michelle. We're going to chop it up about the election live from downtown New Haven in the studio. So we are excited. So we're going to pour a little wine, eat a little pizza, and chop it up about this election. Yes, we've done this 2 times already. It's our 3rd time doing it. People love it. We love it. I love it. So I can't wait. I can't wait till we get together and just laugh and joke about these ridiculous, ridiculous elections and see what's happening. See what's happening. I don't know what to tell you. I tell you what I think. I think, what is her name? Lenora Levy? I think she is crazy, crazy, crazy Eddie. Her ads are just, I don't get it. We're going to make the borders safe. The Connecticut borders? Who are we trying to keep Rhode Islanders out? Are we trying to keep out Massachusetts people out? What borders is she referencing? They keep the borders safe. Everybody's like, what? We got problems with the borders in Connecticut? Oh, she means Texas? A long way from Connecticut. And then I don't know what her beef is with Lamont. I don't know what it is. Other than that, you know, she's yay! Come on, Paul, bring it in. Let's go. He's got somebody for word on the street, so now he got to log in. So let's get logged in. It's going to be beautiful out today. I might have to rearrange my wardrobe. I'm going to Madison tonight to hear Nikki Davidoff talked with James Foreman in Madison, and they moved it to the Congregational Church. So I'm gonna be down for that. And then I have to figure out. I gotta log into my study group, so I think I'm gonna make my way to Starbucks in Madison and hang out there for the afternoon while I on my study group, and then I'll just walk across the Madison Green and go to the church and get in there and be there for the talk. You know, that's what I'm gonna do. That's my plan. So we'll see. That is my plan. Okay, so Paul is he is coming in. Hello. Okay, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. You have to unmute yourself, Paul. Is there anybody running? Okay.
Good morning, Babz.
Good morning.
We're with CJ here in front of the old Box 63. You know the Firehouse Cafe?
Yeah,
They're
it
building
used to be.
it into a cool new place.
I remember when it was Fitzwilly's.
What?
Remember it was Fitzwilly's?
It was Fitzwilly's back in the day when you and I went. Then it was Box 63. Then in the pandemic, some guy from Hartford came up and he got a plan for a new place. And CJ is making it happen. CJ, good morning and welcome to LoveBabz, LoveTalk.
Good morning. How are you?
So CJ, what's the word on the street?
We're doing FPT. We're doing some fire sprinklers this morning, getting the building under fire protection here.
And so is that your job?
Yes, sir.
So you put in fire sprinklers?
Yes, fire sprinklers.
So you make sure we don't get hurt if
Yeah,
some flame comes off the stove.
The fire sprinklers give you time to get out of the building. It's fire suppression.
So what are you doing this morning to put it in? What's involved?
So we're threading some 1-inch sprinkler pipe. We got a pipe threading machine, and we're getting the water drained out of the pipe and putting some new sprinkler heads in.
And how long does it take to do that?
All day. Long job.
And one day you can do it?
Yeah, for here, well, this is a few days here on this job, but for today, we'll be here just for today.
And what are you doing? How many today?
How many heads are we piping today? 10 sprinkler heads?
Yeah,
About 10 sprinkler heads. We're getting piped.
Wait. My question is this. So were there not sprinklers in there before?
He's saying were there not sprinklers before, or are you doing
recovery here? There was sprinklers before, but when they renovate the building, they change the wall location, and the sprinkler code has a specific distance. The heads have to be off the wall, and make sure that all the building, the square footage of the building is under fire protection.
So how long you been doing this, CJ?
I've been doing about 7 years.
7 years. And how'd you get into doing fire suppression?
Just luck of the draw, I guess you could say. I wasn't a bookworm. I was not going to college, so this is where I ended up. So.
But did someone teach you? Hey, Michael, did you know someone?
Yes, I did a 4-year apprenticeship, and got a lot to learn. About 10,000 hours you got to put in before you can get licensed, and then you have a Connecticut Department of Consumer Protection license you have to pass and all that. So in other
words, if you want to do this, you have to say, I'm willing to wait 4 years.
Yeah,
to have someone teach you. So it's paid apprenticeship.
Yeah, no debt like college nowadays.
So it's like going to college, but you get paid.
Yes, better, I'd like to say.
And where did you get into it? Like, where'd you grow up?
So I grew up in Colchester, and then the shop I worked at was right in Windsor, in Windsor Bloomfield area. So.
And how did you? Someone say, hey, CJ, there's this really cool thing you could do with your life, putting in fire sprinklers. So how did you get into it?
That was pretty much it. I was doing electrical work on the side, and then wasn't paying very good, to be honest. And then I asked a friend, and he said, hey, my buddy's a plumber. Would you like to be a plumber? I said, not so much, but then I found out what it really was, and it's fire suppression. So that's what got me into it.
Now, this is FPT Protection. Where are you guys from?
Cheshire. Cheshire's our shop here.
Now, this place has a lot of history, as you know. Fitzwilly was like the first Fern bar in the 80s when they got to be like kind of a yuppie city again. And then Box 61 was more of like where the firefighters hang out and the cops and the people around town. What do you know about this one? Anything?
Not too much. It's my first day here, so.
But any secrets in the walls? Like, did you find anything kind of fun?
Not yet. Cool not yet. Dave, you've been here for a few days. You find anything?
I haven't found anything yet.
No secrets?
Do you think you'll come back when it's open and get a drink or something?
I might. It's not too far from home, so.
All right. And tell me about fire suppression. What do you have to know to be good at it?
Oh, boy. There's a lot to know. Don't be a hacker.
What does that mean?
That means going beyond the code. There's a specific sprinkler code we have to follow. Make sure that the pipe is put in the right way, and that's pretty much it. You stay within the code, and then you'll be in the clear.
So you spent 4 years training. Now you've done another 7 years. What's a time you'll never forget when you were working on putting in sprinklers?
So I pulled the sprinkler head with the water not being fully drained out of the system.
And what
And
happened?
these sprinkler systems get pressurized from anywhere from 50 psi to 200 psi. So I was actually at Hartford Current in the boiler room, and I pulled the sprinkler head out of the ceiling and had about 5 psi on the gauge. And I met about 500 gallons of water. I could not stop the water from coming out. I was soaked head to toe, and thankfully it was in the boiler room, so there was no water damage.
And when was that?
That was probably like my second year as an apprentice, probably about 5
Oh,
years
so you're
ago.
just getting started.
Yeah, I was just getting started.
And at that moment, what did you think? Like, is this water coming forever? I don't know what I'm going to do.
I will never pull a sprinkler head again without having a valve, a shut-off valve on me.
So can you explain a little more to me? So what did you do?
The shut-off valve is just in case you pull a live head, you can thread the valve in and shut the water off in a case of emergency.
And a live head means where the water's still
So
going.
the water pressure's still there.
And how do you find out whether it's live before you start?
There's gauges on the system, so you want to check the gauge prior to opening any of the pipe.
And that tells you the PSI.
Exactly. And sometimes the gauges get a little beat up. So the one that I saw was reading no pressure, but it still had pressure on the system.
Oh, so it was a faulty gauge.
Yes.
Now, you know the Hartford Current's not there anymore. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't know that.
They got rid of their whole building. They're just in cyberspace now.
That's good. That's good. That building was long overdue.
But Babz 63 is coming back. What's the place to be called again?
I'm not, you know.
The place to be.
place to
And they have
be.
one in Hartford, right? Yeah. Yeah. Anything else you notice about this place or this block? This is your first morning here?
Yes, first morning here. It looks pretty nice upstairs. It looks like it's got a nice decorative tree in there. That's where we were piping our sprinkler heads above. So seems like it'll be a nice hangout spot.
And you said you got all day today doing 10 sprinkler heads, right?
Yup.
What do you got the rest of the week? You still going to be here?
The rest of the week I'll be in Baltic, starting a new job. There's a warehouse over there, and we'll be starting a brand new sprinkler job. Pipe deliveries coming tomorrow morning.
What's Baltic?
Baltic, Connecticut. It's right by Norwich.
B-A-L-T-I-C?
Yep, Baltic.
I've been here 40-some years and never heard of Baltic.
I've
Really?
never heard of Baltic.
You've heard of Baltic, Babz?
No. I've never heard of Baltic.
It's a very small little town, right
Well,
north of Norwich.
Well, I want to thank you for keeping us safe because we love our places like this in New Haven. Babz, I'm sure Babz will be hitting this place, the place to be when it opens. Babz, do you have any questions for CJ?
No, I'm excited. I learned something new about fire suppression. I had no idea of that concept. So thanks.
Any parting words about, because what I think you do is important, right? So you feel like you're doing something.
Yeah.
You didn't know what you were going to do with your life when you were founding.
Definitely not.
Now, it was 7 years ago when you started the
Yes.
apprenticeship. You did 4.
Did 4, now I've been licensed for about 3 years. Yep.
And any parting words for you want the public to know, like being careful of fire suppression or the work you do and how you make sure we can go fun and have a drink at night, go to our job at the Hartford Current?
Yeah, if there's a fire suppression system, you'll be safe. And if you need the right system installed, call fire protection team.
All right, CJ, what's your last name?
Timon.
T-Y-M-O-N?
T-I-M-O-N. Yep.
I want to thank you so much for joining us on LoveBabz, LoveTalk, WNHH-FM. Back to you, Babz. This is Paul on Elm Street.
Thank you. Enjoy your day, CJ.
Have a great day.
Thanks, Paul Bass.
Thank you.
Ooh, I learned something new today. How exciting. All right, so we're going to have the call letters. We're going to take a break, and then we'll be back at about 10:15. So I don't know who's running stuff, but here we go. Hello?
sick of this job already. When Tuesday gets here, I'm already hoping for the hump day. Wednesday night, calling my girls, making sure our plans are still tight. Thursday brings a smile, 'cause I won't be putting up with this bull in a little while. Me and my girls, we turned it up last week. Boys love this club 'cause ladies get in free. We love to party, dance all night, work all day. Friday's here and the week is out the way. Hit the floor, just past 10, 2400 and we do it again. 'Cause I wanna dance all night. Oh boy, all night. It's funny, but I don't have the strength to put up with the things that my boss is expecting me to. Even though it's paying the rent, I'm not paid enough to not have an attitude. It doesn't feel right that I work so hard all day and then I'm supposed to sleep through the night. Take care of home and works out the way. So ladies, put your sexy on and tell them that we're hanging tonight. So if you handle yours like a boss like me, put your hands together so they all can see that we've come to party. Dance all night, work all day. Friday's here and the week is out the way. Hit the floor, just past 10, 2400 and we do it again. Dance all night, work all day. Friday's here and the week is out the way. Hit the floor, just past 10, 2400 and we do it. And we do it. Come get it, boy. And we do it. Come on. And we do it. Come get it, boy. And we do it.
And you handle yours like a boss. 'Cause when life tried to flip, you didn't get tossed. In them pearly whites, time to floss. Got top billing, counted the cost. Everybody knows that you're a go-getter. Said it with a smile as you earned your cheddar. Work real hard, and who could do better than you, Babz? Got through the week, I didn't even trip when we didn't speak. Yo, I'm JK, and I'm doing my thing with my big sis, settling champagne king.
Dance all night, work all day. Oh, Friday's here and the week is out the way. Hit the floor, just past 10, 2400 and we do it. Dance all night, work all day. Friday's here and the week is out the way. Hit the floor, just past 10, 2400 and we do it. Dance all night, come on, work all day. Friday's here and the week is out the way. Hit the floor, just past 10, 2400 and we do it. So if you handle yours like a boss like me, put your hands together so that they can see. Hit all night, just past 10, 2400 and we do it.
This is Ace Livingston, and you're listening to 103.5 FM, WNHH.
This song could be about love, but it's not. 'Cause you didn't check in his baggage. He had cash and he really looked hot. This song could be about your happiness, but you're so focused on his bait, you're gonna let a good catch get away. This song could be about how we first met,
But how we gonna reminisce when you haven't got over him yet? This song could be about what you're searching for. You're looking all over town, and I'm knocking on your front door. This could be, it could be about us. This could be all about us. Yeah, but it ain't gonna be about us. This song could be about our wedding day, but you just had to go to see him. That decision left me in dismay. This song should be about when I got your call saying you weren't ready for marriage, that you couldn't commit at all. This song should be about our happy years. Instead it's about when he hurt you, I was there to dry your tears. This song could be about how I'm not around. See, I came to my senses, putting my feet back on the ground. This could be, it could be about us. This could be all about us. Yeah, but it ain't gonna be about us. If I cried for you one more time, somebody's taking fucking me. My friends say I was blind to lay it all on the line for you, but you didn't care, so I felt like a fool. But I'm not a fool. I'm not a fool. This could be. It could be about us. All about us. Yeah. But it ain't gonna be about us, baby. I'm gonna write this song, sing about how you did me wrong. Woo. About us. All about us. This song could be about us, but it's not. Crazy. D-I-M-E. Crazy. D-I-M-E. You and me chilling at the club. You met this badass shorty, then you fell in love. Now it's been 3 weeks since I heard from you. I was thinking about sending in my rescue crew. The time he said, really said it all. Saw you carrying some chick's bag at the mall. Standing on line with the skinny jeans, looking like Ashton Kutcher in the movie scene. And you're crazy about her, and you can't live without her, 'cause she's blew your mind. Yeah, D-I-M-E, she's a dime. Crazy about her, and you can't
my money and my time. D-I-M-E, she's a dime. By the time she's got her hooks in you, it's too late to figure what to do.
Oh, we're back. Had no idea. Woo! Welcome back to the second hour of LoveBabz Love Talk. The last hour, we had word on the street, and I learned a new word, boys and girls. Fire suppression. So CJ and them over there at the place to be putting in sprinkler system, which is, I guess, the first line of defense in fire prevention. And if a fire breaks out, a sprinkler system will allow you to get out safely. Who knew? So I learned something, and thank you. That's what I love about this town. That's what I love about New Haven. You can run up on people and learn something new. Now I care. Now when I go into places, I want to inquire about a fire suppression system, and if they don't, then I might have to eat elsewhere, because I think safety first. So thank you for that, Paul Bass, out there hunting people down, running up on the folks. That's not a bad idea. It's going to be 70-something degrees, dear folks. So get out there and enjoy this day, because tomorrow it all goes away. Be back to the 50s. It'll be rainy, cold, and an election day. But we're going to get it done. And I believe we are, the three of us, are doing our election night coverage. You know, I think we're doing it from like 6 to 8 or something like that. And we'll have people call in. We'll have people at the polls. We'll have real-time stuff. So, you know, it'll be cool. And the last time we called an election, and News Channel 8 picked it up and said, hey, according to the New Haven Independent. But I think they're doing election coverage too. They're trying to get in on the game. They're not going to be as fun and cool as we are, though, because they're not. But so tune in and catch us tomorrow. I guess a flyer will go out or some old thing. We'll see. If not, I'll just talk about it tomorrow. I'll just talk about it on my social media pages and tag folks. Yeah, we back at it. We back at it. The media mavens are back at it. So we're going to do the thing tomorrow. It'll be fun. So, as I said tonight, I'm going to run up to Madison to catch the Nikki Davidoff conversation with George Foreman. George Foreman is a boxer. I mean James Foreman Jr., who won a Pulitzer for locking up our own, and has created the Yale Access to Law School program that I'm in. So I get to see two interesting people that I dig, James Foreman Jr. and Nikki Davidoff. So I'm gonna try to get up to Madison early in the day, because I got study group and I don't want to miss it. So I'll have to figure out where I can go. I know Madison maybe has a public library I could spy into. I don't know. You would think that I am a little bit more versed on Madison, since I have spent enough time in Madison. High five to Karen Ponzio for covering the Schubert, Elm City Finest at the Schubert. She did a damn good job. This is why I so appreciate it. It's up on the New Haven Independent, and I'm gonna pull it for the inner city. I'm going to pull it for the inner city, and so she did a good job. I had a chance to read it while we were on our little break from the show, and I was just very delighted. So, I might make it to the library, the Scranton Library in Madison. So maybe that's where I hold up to. I got to see where it is in relationship to the Congregational Church. I have no idea. It might be too far than I want. So, but it's downtown. So, I'm just gonna go to Madison a little early and scout around and see what makes sense. You know, see what makes sense. I like libraries anyway, so that might be kind of fun to sort of get into the library. Make sure I find my little earbuds, and so I don't disturb nobody. Get thrown out the library. So I'll do that as I pack my bag for the evening, and then and I'll do that. I've got a lot of reading to catch up. Oh, oh. I am excited about this election. So the New Haven Independent has the election rundown, and let me just go to it real quick so that I could tell you what's at stake here in Kittycut. Who's on the ballot for Tuesday? Who's on the ballot? So let's see: Michelle Bicking and Rob Hoderling, Ned Lamont, and Bob Stefanowski. They are running for governor. I think I heard Michelle Beeking with Paul on the radio the other week, last week or something, and I like the sound of her voice. I mean, that's no reason to choose anybody for governor, but and then candidates running for the U.S. representative. How many people? Amy Chai, Justin Pagalino, Rosa DeLauro, and Leslie DeNardis. All right. Okay. We all know how that's going to go. Let's see. So let's see. I'm trying to read this so that I could follow along. There's 4 running for governor? I had no idea. Okay, so Michelle Bicking is a Green Party endorsed candidate, and she's a write-in candidate, and she's promoting high-speed rail. I heard her conversation, and single-payer health care and universal college and trade school. I mean, that alone is good. I like that. Bob Stefanowski, who is, I don't really know exactly what he will do or what he wants to do, because his ads change every day. One day I don't know. I really don't know. I think he's just whatever he could throw at Lamont, and that doesn't determine for me what he'll do. I mean, at the end of the day, he's a Republican. I'm not going to trade one white man for another. I'm just not going to do it. So I don't know who. I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. So, and I know they've been on Paul's show a couple of times. There's a 4-way race for Congress. Leslie DeNardis is a Republican, and she's emphasizing spending tax cuts, and is the daughter of the last Republican to represent the district. And single-payer health care proponent Justin Paglino of the Green Party. See, I think the problem I have with the Green Party is that they're a little too flaky. They gotta tighten up a little bit. They want to be taken seriously. That's just my opinion, Green Party. Don't be mad. Y'all just, some years you got a candidate, some years you don't. I'm just trying to get a vibe for y'all. And then the independent party's Amy Chai, who is advancing a 4th trimester proposal to support new moms. Okay, girl, I feel you. And then let's see. Oh, there's a bunch of people running for Attorney General. So William Tong is looking to win his 2nd term. I think we like him. I mean, Republican Jessica Cortez presses the Parents' Right platform. I don't understand this Parents' Right platform. Parents always had rights at schools. I think that, I don't know why these Republicans keep saying that parents don't have. First of all, did the pandemic teach you anything about homeschooling? You really want to have all? I don't understand them at all. I don't get this. Parents always had say and conversation and input into schools. So you could you could pretty much go to any school you want to and have a conversation. Join the PTA, PTO. That's where you make the difference. I don't understand these people. And then the Green Party and Green Ken Krajewski on the state to work with rather than against victims of violence by state correctional officers and police officers. Okay, so you know what? I just take all these things and just mash them up into one thing. And then 3 seek to become Secretary of the State. Stephanie Thomas, who is a Democrat, Republican Dom Rapini, and Independent Party candidate Cynthia Jennings. She's pushing ranked choice judging, ranked choice voting. Okay, and then there's a comptroller thing going on, Sean Scanlon, and then Mary Fay, who is the Republican. Okay, and then the tangle for treasurer, somebody else other than okay. Oh, there's a Republican. So Eric Russell, who is our candidate from New Haven, and then Republican Harry Aurora. Okay. I just don't want Republicans doing anything. And then Democrat Americo Carcia and Independent Gerald Barber. I think I like Americo or Americo. I like Americo. I like him. And then state legislators. Okay. Oh. So Gary Whitfield has a challenger? Who is that? I don't know. I've never heard of this person. John Carlson is taking on Gary Whitfield. Seriously? Oh, come on. You have got to be kidding me. And Steve Orozco is taking on Martin Looney. Okay, y'all need to quit. And Democrat State Rep Roland Lamar, and he has a challenger, Republican challenger Eric Mastriani. Okay. I don't know any of these Republican people. I don't know. Because the Republican people are not known to be in the community. I mean, they're not known to do community things. I never see them at community activities. I never see them, I don't know where I would see a Republican candidate outside of their ads or whatever. They're not known to do community things. I could be wrong. I've never seen it. I've never seen a Republican. They're not trying to feed the homeless or march for immigrants or they're not going to do any of that. So I have no awareness of them because they don't do any of the things that we say are necessary for thriving communities. So I don't get it. I'm sorry. Not sorry. Let's see. And Pat Dillon. She has an unaffiliated challenger, Leslie Heffel McGurk. And Republican Anthony Acri is challenging East Side Democrat State Rep Alphonse Palillo. I know Alphonse. And the Republican Percy Saunders is challenging incumbent Democratic State Rep Tony Walker and incumbent Democratic State Reps Robin Porter and Juan Candelaria do not face challenges this year. Who was running against Tony Walker? I mean, listen, I believe every race should have a challenger. I think everybody should have a challenge. Put your message out there, go out there and knock on doors. I don't understand how Republicans can win because they don't really like anything. They don't like anything. They don't like anything that have to do with humanity and the public good. They don't have have any interest in any of that. So it's hard for me to sort of think about them as viable candidates because I never see them think about, every man, and I never see them think about the citizens. So I don't know. We'll see. I could be wrong. I mean, maybe they are popular. Maybe they I don't get it. So I know no shade. Well, maybe shade because I don't get any of it. I damn sure. I mean, I think we gotta keep Ned Lamont in the driver's seat for a bit, and Mr. Stefanowski. I mean, one rich white man. I mean, if there was another rich white man, it was a Democrat, all right. But another rich white man who's a Republican, and please, I don't want to hear them talk about how they are distancing themselves from which they don't really say they distance themselves. They just let these folks hijack your party, and you want us to what? I don't understand what you want us to do. I don't understand how Republicans want us to think about them. Somebody in the Republican Party, tell me how you want folks to think about y'all in lieu of all the foolishness and the craziness of your party and the white supremacy and racism of your party. Like, what do you want me to think about y'all? Help me understand. Make it make sense. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that, So that's all I'm gonna say on that. I'll have more straight comedy for you tomorrow night from 6 to 8. But these races, these midterms, say what you want. I know people are like, oh, these midterms are boring, they're uninteresting, people don't necessarily come out. Well, we might prove you wrong. I tell you, all this early voting, woo, people are en masse. And early voting will favor Democrats. Because you know what? The Republicans are making it difficult for people to even want to go to the polls. And that's the truth. Like, I don't say that, I say that with all sincerity, that the Republicans are trying to make it difficult for people to go to the polls. And this whole business of just nobody wants to go to the polls to be harassed. So early voting is critical. Absentee balloting is critical for people. So they don't have to deal with that foolishness of being stared down by armed people, right? Who are stoking the flames of all kinds of foolishness. So you just don't, it's like, listen, I'm going to avoid all of that. I'm an early vote. I'm an absentee ballot vote. So I don't have to deal with that white supremacy intimidation. I don't have to deal with it. And I think that's what that's what the early voting is showing us, that this is why people, I would imagine, don't want to be at these polls for the foolishness and the shenanigans of stuff. I don't get it. So the Republicans have made that very clear. They don't mind intimidation. They have a taste for it. So they because the only way that they can win is to, terrorize. And terrorize being, intimidation at the polls, disenfranchisement, gerrymandering, all that is voting terrorism. And they have a taste for it. They have a real appetite for it. And it shows. And you prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. They have a real taste for that stuff. And it's so disheartening because people are like, you know what? I'm just not going to deal with that. I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to deal with it. And but those of us who understand the privilege, the power of voting, we will, we will get through. I'm just glad I live in a state where I don't have to deal with that level of intimidation. I just don't. I'm so glad that I don't. So I'm going to walk my ass down to the polls tomorrow morning, vote, and then come on back. That's what I'm going to do. Or however, some time before I go into the inner city, I'll just go vote and be done with it. Because I can't, it's as frustrated as I am, as sour as I feel, as not very hopeful about anything these days. I'm going to exercise my right to vote. I made that promise to my grandmother, uh, who would be 100 and something years old today. I made that promise, and so I would. I'm gonna honor that. Plus, I like the right to walk into my polling place and cast my vote, knowing that I walk on the backs of those who walked miles and miles and miles and endured so much hardship just to cast their vote. And I know a lot of people don't have no connection to that kind of thing, but I do. I feel it in my bones every time I go to the polls. I feel the ancestors. I feel them. I feel them every time when I go to the polls. And I'm not suggesting anybody else feels that way. And I'm not going to guilt people. I'm done with trying to guilt people into voting. You don't want to vote, fine. But let me tell you something. This is what I know for sure. Whatever happens, it will affect you. Whether you cast a vote or not, you won't have a say after the fact. So voting is free. It burns calories. You can vote and drive, and you get a good sticker, but this is our country, and the price of citizenship is the ability to vote. Really, that's what it is. The price of citizenship is the ability to vote. And can you really call yourself a citizen if you do not participate in the very thing that makes us free? And if it didn't mean so much, they wouldn't try to keep you from it. That's the God's honest truth. If it didn't mean so much, they wouldn't keep you from it. And we had ancestors who had to read and interpret the Bill of Rights and the Constitution and whatever the hell else they threw at us. And And let me clarify something else with people out here running on misinformation. That during the Civil Rights March, people dressed up not because they were trying to play respectability politics, people. They dressed up because even dressed up, we were treated like dogs and could be beaten to death and fire hosed and dogs sicked on us, even as humans. So the dressing up wasn't like, oh, they won't beat us. They knew they were going to be beaten and hosed and all that stuff. And when that stuff was on TV, they wanted people to see that these weren't just some raggedy people somewhere, whatever. That they were deliberate about this dress up, so that when they beat us down, people of good conscience watching this will see that, listen, they're beating down these people, and they're not just raggedy people who don't care or whatever. That these are well-to-do people, So these are wild times indeed, but they're always wild times, aren't they? Though, I mean, there's always wild times. Every generation, everybody has wild times. There'll be more wild times tomorrow, next week, next year. Be even wilder. We were made for these times. I believe it. If it wasn't true, you wouldn't be here. And your time here is short. So make the most of it. Make the most of it. So listen, Powerball is up to $2 billion. And you got like 1 in a 300 million chance of winning. That don't stop you. Because I personally think it's fun. Now, I'm not going to drop $100 in no damn lottery tickets. That's for true. But I will drop maybe $6 because they're $3 a piece if you get the power play. So I might spring for 2 tickets. I might do that. I might do that. I can't do much more than that because it just makes me itchy if I spend too much. If I was in the pool, I throw in $20. If I was in the pool, but I'm not in the pool. So but that's it for me, because I would just be like, ooh, I cannot spend that kind of money. Can't do it. But let me tell you, if I win $2 billion, you won't know it tomorrow. I mean, you won't know. You won't know until I don't know, 6 months from now, 9 months from now, when I'm like, what the hell is Babz? You won't know. You won't know I won until you're going to look up 9 months from now and be like, and then I'm doing my show live from Kigali. And I will still do this show just from Kigali, Rwanda, because nobody's going to come bother me. They're not coming to Africa to chase after me. They just won't. So that's what it'll be. Or I'll be somewhere, maybe not Kigali. I'll be somewhere. I'll be somewhere on the continent, and it'll be like, live from wherever. That's what it'll be. You look up and be like, where the hell's Babz? And all my peoples, because, you know, you have to take time. You know, $2 billion buys me a hell of an underground railroad. Baby, I would just be gone. I was like, yes, I would do some stuff in my community. Let me tell you, I would spend a great deal of money in my community because there's some things that I want. There's some things that I want, and money will get them for me. There's some real things that I want, and money will get them for me, and that's what I would do. I swear to God, I have a plan of what I would do, and I would split my time between Connecticut, New Haven, and somewhere else, maybe a couple of places. You know, that's what I would do. But you won't know it tomorrow. If I won tomorrow, you won't know it. You won't know it for about 9 months. Whatever that moment is where I have to actually, you know, the deadline to collect. Because, you know, you got to put things in place. You know, you got to put in a security detail. You got to secure your family. You got to get everybody on board. You got to get everybody to not run their mouth and be like, listen. So, I'm just saying, that's all, just saying. So yeah, so go buy your tickets. You might see me in the line somewhere. I'm gonna get me a ticket too. And I bought tickets the last time, so I gotta go and check those because I won $12 the last time. I was like, ooh, it got me a piece. Well, you know, like 3 weeks ago when it was. Before it was $1 billion, you know, when it was like the high 800s. Now it's $2 billion. I'm like, all right, that's a lot of money. And you know what? I'm one of these people. I used to think, oh, let's spread it out. Nope. I want the only winning ticket. I want to be the only winner of that kind of money. And it will change my life dramatically. And let me tell you something. I would not be unhappy. Because, you know, everybody else can act a fool around me and act a fool. Not me, though. I won't be acting a fool because I have an idea and a plan. And I know people are like, oh, money can't buy you happiness. Well, I'd like to see. I don't want to take your word for it. I want to see. I want to see if money can buy you happiness or not. I don't know. I've never had no money like that. So I don't know. I know what don't buy you happiness, poverty. So let's see what it's like on the other side. I was like, so I have something to compare. Oh, well, when I was poor, I was happy, even though I was poor. Oh, now that I'm rich, oh, I can be happy too. Look at this. So yeah, I want to give it I want to do some research. Is it better to have money or not to have money? Give me 20 years to work that out with a $2 billion. I'll tell you after that. You know, I'll tell you that. And that's all I'm going to say. So go and buy your lottery tickets, people. Let's get the fever. Have a good time. Crack up, laugh, get your pools together, and get with your peoples. And you know, have fun. Have fun. That's how I see it, as fun. If I win, hey, you won't know for about 9 months, 10 months. If I don't win, well, you know, I'll be here tomorrow. Regardless, if I win or not win, I'm here tomorrow. I'm here tomorrow. Nothing changes. If I win, I take my time about building the team. You won't even know. I'll move very stealthily. Believe it or not. there's some things that I do that you do not know about me, and that's all right. So good luck to everybody out there who is buying Powerball tickets. I'm gonna go get me some later today. And
don't forget me. Don't forget me, Babz.
Harry, if I win, you gotta go where I go. We have to be a team.
Oh, we're still doing the show?
Harry, we still. You don't want to do the
if
show,
you win?
Harry? You don't want to do the show for. We have to do the show for a little while, Harry, because we can't just disappear. We gotta like do the show, and then bounce.
Okay.
We'll
just do it from Costa Rica, right?
Like, why is Harry and Babz in Costa Rica?
This and they'll it'll be all over the news that somebody from Connecticut won.
I know. And we sitting in Costa Rica like, I wonder who that was, Harry. All the people like, do y'all know Americans? We just here. We just here. Well, for you, Harry, you don't have pictures all over the internet like I do, so
yeah. Well,
I'd have to get a new hair color.
So Babz, let me apologize for today because I'm setting up my area, so my computer wasn't hooked up. I was moving stuff around, so I couldn't hear your show from that corner of the office. Now I'm in the corner. I'm where Layla used to be.
Oh, are you there?
Yeah. So I still haven't finished. I'm still hooking up stuff. So, I wasn't able to listen from over there.
I didn't know what was happening. I was like, did Harry quit? Like
almost, right? It felt that
like normally in the morning you'll like come in and say, okay, this is what I got to go do. I'll be back. I was out here by myself. So I didn't know what was. I was like, the music didn't come. I was like, what is going on? Then it was like silence. I was like, okay.
No, I just couldn't get to you because my computer wasn't connected.
Okay.
So, but I'm connected now. I'm like 85% of the way done.
Boys and girls, this is live radio.
I'm like 85% of the way done, but it's still a work in process. Cause I'm like a pain in the butt. So until I get it right.
The good thing is you got designated space.
Yeah.
So, and it's not in the way where people can walk by and push you and stuff.
The only thing is that it is 90 in the office right now. So.
I can imagine. Well, you know what, Harry? Tomorrow it'll be back to normal.
Because I could have just came on and said, "Well, Babz, I fainted because it's so damn hot in here." Because it is. I was in here yesterday and it was just as bad.
Oh my God, you cracked me up.
But I'm almost done.
Oh, you was in there yesterday, like on a Sunday?
Yeah, because I had equipment to move from my house into the studio. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is what it is. But.
All right.
Anyway,
well, I'm glad you're all right, and I'm glad you didn't faint, and I'm glad you didn't quit.
I'm alive. Anyway,
and tomorrow we're doing a live show tomorrow evening. So
yeah, we'll be on all day tomorrow. We might have to take off tomorrow. I mean Wednesday morning. I don't know.
Okay, that's up to you.
Because Harry's exhausted. But
I know you are. Do we have a new flyer for the thing, or I just tell people?
Right now it's word of mouth. But
okay,
I'll get to that flyer today. That's
fine. I'll do word of mouth.
All right. So. Anyway, thank everyone for listening to LoveBabz Love Talk on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. There you go, Babz.
All right, I'll see you all tomorrow. Whether I get your lottery tickets, we here tomorrow.
Yeah, everybody go get your lottery tickets. Don't get the winning one because that's mine. But but go out there and make the pot bigger for me.
$2 billion, Harry.
That's right.
$2 billion. All
right. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Thank you.
Yep.